Approaching crunch time. The Coca-Cola 10-pin bowling classic really now a must-win situation for these teams. Jeanette Baker.
We're into the third round. A win here for either team advances them to the semi-finals.
It's Victoria against WA. Here's how the Vics line up. They made the championship final last season. They'll be led off by Len Hogg, the Iceman. Current average 191. Second up, Cara Honeychurch. Current average 200. High game 290. And John Sullivan, the captain and Mr. Magic.
Well, Western Australia had success with a change of lineup last time. Let's see what happens. Steve Hart, 25-year-old from Perth. Tom Curry, 23 years experience in bowling, and Trish Cortezes, a duty manager from Perth.
So strong lineups for both these teams. Entering, as we said, a real crunch game.
There's a lot more at stake between these teams other than just what's on the lanes. We've got football to remember. There's rivalry rife between Victoria and Western Australia.
Len Hogg trying to get the Vics up to the perfect start. He does it. Len Hogg comes up with the goods first up.
That's it. That's the perfect start that they need. They've got to get out and start attacking from the beginning. Len Hogg shooting that semi-outside line and riding it nicely. Steve Hart, tall bowler from Perth, swings the ball out, left-hander, and watch the ball come back. See what he can do. Opening for WA.
25 years of age, Steve Hart knocks him down. All 10 go tumbling down. So he replies to the Vics.
Perfect response there, strike for strike. As we see that good long swing, good knee bend, sends the ball out, and he's pleased with that. Clenches the fist. Yeah, I've got the opening one. As we see that angle there, and the left-handers really bring the ball back a long way. The other left-hander out of this group, Cara Honeychurch, up on the approach for Victoria. Second frame.
Honeychurch looking to capitalise on the good start by Len Hogg.
All together.
Okay, Len Hogg telling her all the pins are together, which is one advantage. It's much easier going for the cluster than having them wide apart on the lane. But she's not pleased with that shot. A little bit tentative, perhaps trying to play too safe. Not giving the ball the lift that she normally would give it. Now going for the spare. Crossing over the lane and covers all three pins confidently. Not a problem with that spare, Cara.
Shuts down the frame. Cara Honeychurch.
As we see there, much better lift on that second shot, crossing the lane. And she's pleased with that one.
Tom Curry now, 47 years of age. Financial consultant from Perth. Looking to make it back-to-back strikes for WA.
And there it is. That's the second one.
Okay.
And now the experience starting to show. Tom Curry playing that inside line, playing the wall shot, and it comes off. Yes, it's a punt to play. And now equally the master of the Victorian team, Mr. Magic.
John Sullivan, the captain of this Victorian side.
He's got that one down early, crosses over, breaks up the pins, but still left with that single pin, the 5-pin. Under television lights, it's hard to understand, but yeah, players do perspire a lot. There's hand dryers on the machines. They usually give their hands a once over with the hand dryer to make sure all the excess perspiration's off. And then into the ball.
Just the single ping left for John Sullivan. No problems for this man.
Easy cover that time. But Western Australia have really come out of the blocks fast this time. They've been a bit tentative in other matches, but now they're out of the blocks. 2 out of 2 strikes. And the unusual thing is they're letting the lady, Trish Cortezes, play third. Most of the other teams are alternating and having the woman play as the second player. But Trish taking her time, taking a deep breath.
What's the thinking behind that?
I just believe it's to take the pressure off of Trish instead of following the guy and then another guy up. She's got 2 strikes to follow. She likes to be aggressive and attack the pins and this will give her the chance.
Cross.
She's going over. She's on the cross, but it's come off.
So a turkey for WA to open this game.
Right.
And she's happy about that.
And, of course, 3 out of 3. Even though it crossed over to the Brooklyn, the left-hand side of the head pin, all 10 pins disappear off the deck.
And after 3 frames in this battle, it's WA. They lead the Vicks by 11.
Hi, I'm Dick Ritker. I'd like to teach you how to release a ball in a reflexive action rather than anticipating the release of the ball. I'm going to use a model. What I'd like to do is swing the arm, and every time I release the fingers, she will follow through. In that case, I didn't release, but she lifted. That's anticipating. She will wait now till I release and then follow through. You can have a person help you at home do the same thing. Let them swing your arm and release it whenever they wish. Thus, it's a reflex and not an anticipation. The swing becomes very smooth and consistent.
WA have made the perfect start to this game with 3 strikes, putting the pressure on Victoria. And we should point out that any team here who can bowl the perfect 300 game, which WA is on target to do after 3 frames, is $10,000, courtesy of True Value Hardware. Len Hogg comes up with a strike of his own.
He wasn't pleased with it.
Strike.
Come on. It wasn't the best ball he could bowl, but the result was there. He got it out onto the lane a little bit further than what he has been. But yes, as I say, the radar takes over, a bit of extra lift, gets the reaction on the back ends. Now, Steve Hart.
Still looking to keep their hopes alive of getting this $10,000 bonus from True Value Hardware. Steve Hart will just be thinking about making this strike. He's coming back.
Ooh, it's hooked too much for him on the right-hand lane, leaving the 2 pins in the left-hand corner, the 4-7.
Well, there goes the 10,000.
True Value would be pleased to hear about that. But not giving it quite as much room as he needed to on that right-hand lane, and therefore the ball breaking back a bit too much. Changing to the harder case ball to go for his spare, using all the lane. Oh, and he's copped it inside. Not enough room.
Hear the ooze go up from the crowd there.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. They're shots that these guys normally don't miss. As we see there, using all the lane, but he hasn't trusted it enough. Consequently, the ball came inside and missing completely. Now, with the Victoria on a strike, Cara Honeychurch up, Western Australia have left the gate open for the Vicks to come in with 1 more strike, and they can catch them.
She's been a model of consistency.
Yes, that's the one.
Honeychurch coming up with the big strike.
Great shot under pressure that time. She was running that in. It felt good, and it was going to go. As we see there, comes through the ball really hard, very strong, and there's the result. She's pleased with that one, and now it's up to Western Australia to respond to the double that's been put on them by Victoria.
Tom Keary, skipper of this side. They've changed the order. It's working for them.
Ooh.
Keary thought he had it.
Well, that shot just seemed on his release. He just didn't seem to be able to get out of that cleanly. As you say, look at that shoulder, way, way down too far. No chance for the 10-pin to come out that time. So now going for that bane of contention for right-handers, the 10-pin in the right-hand corner. Plenty of lane, plenty of room, good cover.
No troubles for Tom Keary. He does it with ease.
Now, Victoria, if their captain, John Sullivan, can produce his famous magic here, that'll give them a turkey and now give them the lead against WA. Takes plenty of time on the approach.
Snapping on the right.
He's bowled a perfect game.
Gives a bit of room.
Current average 200. John Sullivan looking for the turkey.
Yeah,
He's got
there it is.
3 strikes in a row for the Vicks.
Nice shot. Nice shot.
Encouragement from Len Hogg, his team member, telling him it's a nice shot. It looked good. Got it down early. He's riding it. It's looking good. And, yeah, there's the turkey. 3 in a row for the Vicks. As we see the reaction of the ball on the pins that time. Now Western Australia are on the defensive.
WA started with 3 strikes, and the Vics have now responded with 3 strikes in the 4th, 5th and 6th frames.
That's right. Now it's up to Trish Cortezes to just send the ball down.
She came up with a strike in her opening bowl.
She's on the over, but manages to break up that baby split that time. I mean, the pressure, one shot is absolutely amazing out there. You've got 3 people playing one game between them. Normally in singles play, you've got the opportunity, if you make a mistake, to think about it, recap your thoughts, and make a correction.
And no one to blame either.
Absolutely.
Cortezes.
Crossing the lane, good cover, perfect cover on that 3-pin spare. Keeping clean. If you can't strike, the best thing you can do is make sure you cover your spares. As we see the shot, using all the lane, good roll, and right on the belly of that pin.
After 6 frames, it's the Vics in front by 6. We have a real battle on our hands here between the Victorians and the Westerners from WA. Len Hogg, the lead bowler for the Victorian side, the Iceman. He's 38 years of age, been bowling for 22 years. Looking to continue his good work. He's
holding, yes!
He does so.
Yes!
Another strike for the Iceman.
As we see John get off his seat then. Absolutely amazing. He wasn't overly pleased with that release, Len, but the result was there.
And that's what counts.
Too true. And that gives them 4 strikes in a row as Steve Hart up on the approach, trying to bring this lead back into their favour. Get something going here. Give it plenty of room, Steve. Oh, no. Nasty, nasty.
Not a pretty sight.
And it's not an easy one to get. It's one of the most difficult because the 2 pins that are left there, the 4 and the 6, as we see, the 2 in the right hand corner, not a problem, but the 1 on the left hand side makes this spare very, very difficult. At this point in time, he'd probably just make sure of 2 and make sure of the pins. And there he does. Make sure of 2. Brings the Western Australian score to 129 in the 7th frame. Facing Victoria, 4 strikes in a row. Cara Honeychurch looking to continue this string of strikes for Victoria.
Looking for 5 strikes for Victoria Cara Honeychurch, and her 2nd successive one. She's been so consistent throughout this championship. Only 21 years of age. Getting encouragement from the teammates.
Yes!
She comes up with the 2nd and the 5th strike in succession for the Victorians.
Wow, that's good aggressive stuff by Cara, and that's the way she likes to play it, is to get out there and be aggressive. Look at the lift, the roll. She's running it in. She knows it's a good shot. Yes, there it is. The desired result. Strike number 5 in a row for Victoria. Now Tom
Curry.
Oh, it's wide. Way too wide. 6 is the count there. They've gone from being the aggressors in this game to now being on the back foot, being very defensive. That shot shows defense. Giving it too much room, hoping the ball would come back.
This is deja vu for the Westerners because they were beaten in the final of the Coca-Cola 10-pin Classic last season by the Vics. Curie wraps up the spare.
It's a good cover. He's not happy with that shot. He gets the perfect cover on the spare, but would be chastising himself for what he did wrong on that first shot. But, Tom, it's over. It's gone. You can't do anything about it. It's John Sullivan now looking for strike number 6 in a row for Victoria. He's got it down early. Has he given it enough room? It's crossed over.
Ooh, give him a break.
No luck, he says. No luck at all. It's a 10-pin. Checking the score there. Early, not enough room out to the right, giving it just a little bit high on the left-hand side. single pin to go back and get.
Now looking forward to closing this frame.
Yes,
Never in doubt.
yes.
John Sullivan,
Easy does it.
the captain, the data processing manager from Doncaster in Melbourne.
As we see, using all the lane as good technicians do, going for that single pin spare. But Western Australia now are in a position where they need to attack. They're looking at a possible 209 game from here. This is the base frame. A strike here can help set it up in the 10th frame for them. As we see Trish Cortez's, the concentration, really squeezing that ball, getting the right feel, ready to swing, roll through her target. It's looking good. Yes, there's one.
She's come up with her second strike of this game, giving the encouragement to Steve Hart, saying you can do it.
That's right. Perfect lift on the shot, right in the pocket. And yes, it's what I went for. It's what I got up there to do, get a strike.
The Vicks, they lead by 49 pins. The 10th frame, Victoria and WA in a replay of the grand final from last season in the Coca Cola 10-pin Classic. The Vicks, at the moment, they're holding all the aces in this contest. 10th frame, Len Hogg up, looking to finish in grand style.
There it is.
He goes.
There's the first one in the 10th. If Len can utilise his 2 bonus balls in this 10th frame, Victoria are looking at a possible 248, which will then be the high game of this series. He's got the first one. Now looking at his first bonus shot here in the 10th frame. Sets himself up. How's it look? It's right. Oh, it's high. 7, it's a split.
Now he gets to show us just how good he is.
Well, that's right. It wasn't a good shot. But when you're in front, you can sit back and laugh at some of those splits. Len Hogg takes 2, possibly with a show. He might give us a nudge at this split. He's got the pins up his sleeve as he's going for it. Oh, covers with 2.
Takes the 2, but he can afford to laugh about that. What a big win by the Vicks. They've done a great job. 237.
Great score by Victoria. Now we can see how they won it last year. Even though Len wasn't in the team last year, he's produced the goods this year.
He's proved a great replacement.
Absolutely. Great on the interchange, as we say. Steve Hart, he can strike out for a possible 209 for Western Australia here. He's given it plenty of room. Oh, it's tight. Yes, mix.
Had the wobbles up, but it stands, the 10-pin.
Well, now he leaves the 10-pin. Unusual for a left-hander. He's given it plenty of room. Look at the revolutions on that ball as it comes back. Gets the luck on the 6-pin, but no, that wobbling 10-pin. I sometimes think they might be round on the bottom and won't fall over.
Yep.
Hart shuts down the frame.
Good count.
Not a problem on that spare for Steve Hart. As we see, good, solid stuff at the foul line. Covers that pin, no problems. Now his bonus shot in the 10th frame. Strike here gives them a score of 189. As the tall bowler from Western Australia lines up for the last shot of this game. Gone high. 8 count. 187 is the score for Western Australia this time. 237 for Victoria. But it's easy to be friendly when the match is over.
The Victorians got out in front and just kept going further ahead here. Steve Hart tried hard to peg him back, but the lead was far too big. A massive 50-point win to the Victorians, the defending champions in this